Hey everyone, Zach here, and really excited to spend some time with you guys here today. Today we're going to be continuing the rounds of network marketing versus everything, and I'm really pumped to spend this time with you guys here. If you want to, you can listen to an audio version of this only, not this video, but a podcast that we did talking about this exact same subject. Just click down below the MLM Rebels podcast if you want to take this on the go with you. You're more than welcome to do that. If you want to do the video format, we're about to do that now. Also, if you want to join the private but free Facebook group talking about using sales funnels for network marketing, you can click right down below at MLMsalesfunnels.com. You can join the private but free group and learn how to do that for yourself. Lastly, if you want to know exactly how to do this in the fastest way possible, there's a free 41-page blueprint or roadmap that you can use to get you from zero to functional in that way very quickly. It's MLMRebelsBlueprint.com right down below. So there's some resources for you guys if you want to take advantage of those. So let's dive into today's video, which is network marketing versus startups or tech companies, okay? So this is a lot of fun because this is a really hot topic right now with startups and tech entrepreneurs and things of that nature. First and foremost, what I do have to tell you is this. I really love tech companies and software companies. So I would love to own my own one day. I'd love to start one. At this point, we haven't. It's been like buzzing in my head. And like every time like we're talking to someone, I'm like, oh my gosh, actually, we should do a software company. And like, I like, you know, you probably know this, but like, you know, your mind starts racing. You're like, yeah. And so I really want to. However, we have things in our business that it's like, no, we should do this first. We do this first. Maybe we'll do that someday, but it's more of just like this thing that we want to do deep down inside. But I don't know if we actually like really want to do it, right? It's kind of just like a pet project that I think we would do. So anyway, I love software companies. I love tech companies. I love apps, all that stuff. I think it's amazing. But today we're talking about making a fast amount, or I shouldn't say fast, what could make you ongoing income, $50,000 a year of ongoing income the fastest. That's what we're comparing against. We're comparing the tech world, apps, startups, tech companies, that to network marketing. What can make 50 grand of ongoing income faster? Cool? Let me tell you where I have my data from with startups and tech companies and apps and things of that nature. I've got my data from personal friends. These are not people that I've read about. These are not anything like that. These are people that I've sat down with. They're either really good personal friends, like for many years, or they're personal friends that are newer, but these are personal conversations I've had with them, okay? Giving you personal experience right now, or personal conversations from their experience right now. That's what I'm relaying to you. Fair? First thing we're going to talk about is some baseline numbers. So I've used 50 grand a year in network marketing as our baseline for ongoing income. I picked that number because you do have to be in the top 5 or 10% of network marketing earners to hit that number, no doubt. None of this is for average people. You're not going to do good in real estate investing, stock market, startups, or anything like that if you're an average human being, period. You're not going to make 50 grand a year of ongoing income in network marketing if you're an average player. You have to be a top player. So just know that right up front. So I'm going to be using the top layers of both areas, but not the top 0.01%. Okay? I'm not going to be telling you about people that make $1 million a month in network marketing. Nor are we going to be talking about Uber and Lyft and Airbnb and all those people. Is that amazing? Absolutely. Could you do it? Of course you could. Don't let me be the one to tell you that stops you. I'm not going to criticize you if you want to go for that. Go for it. I'm also not going to use the person that's making $1 million a month in network marketing because that's the 0.001%. Cool? So we're going to exclude like Uber and Lyft. We're also going to exclude mega earners in network marketing. Okay? We're going to go with the top 5 or 10% of both areas. So 50 grand a year is like the lower end of the top 5 or 10% for network marketing earners, and we're going to be using like a middle range for people on the startup side. So if you're on the startup side, first of all, know this, that 90% still, this is all businesses, traditional, not traditional, network marketing, all businesses, 90% plus of them fail. We already know that, right? We know that most of them fail within 1 to 2 years, and the rest of them fail between 5 and 7. And I've heard that you're actually lucky if you fail in the first 1 to 2 because you're not bleeding and stressed out for the next 3 to 5. So we're going to assume that you're not in the 90% that fails. Okay, we're going to assume that you're in the top 10% of all people that start a startup, tech company, or app. Okay, so you're already doing really good. That's what we're going to assume, that you're better than almost more than 90% of tech companies that fail. That's what we're going to assume. Okay. So let's pretend you have an idea. The first step is you get an idea. You have your idea, you get your idea, and you're like, sweet, I get an idea for an app, and it's going to be amazing, and we're going to build it. Wow. Next thing you do is you're probably going to get a partner, because you're going to get something that's opposite of your strengths. So if you are charismatic, you might need a developer to build the thing. If you're a developer, you might need a visionary to sell the thing, right? You're going to probably need your opposite half in a situation like this. So you get your partner. The next thing you do is you're going to bootstrap and get something that is actually workable for the first 6 to 12 months. So you probably have your job, right, or whatever you're making your money with, and then on the nights and weekends, you're going to be doing work to get this little app or get this little software up to a point where you have something there. You have some sort of valuable asset that an investor wants to invest in. So you typically need, maybe a few hundred, few thousand, few 10,000s of users in your platform before an investor even wants to take a look at it in most cases. Okay, now let's pause for a second. Let's talk about why people get into this game in the first place. One reason is because I just really, really want to. And that's amazing. This is kind of like me. I just want to do it, If I see a problem out there, I want to fix it, and starting a business is usually the way to fix it. But from a financial standpoint, why do people get into the startup game? Do you know? In most cases, this is from what I have understood, and let me tell you about who these people that are that I've understood this from. These are people that are in the top 5% of tech company founders. They founded the company. It's a tech company. They have taken on investor capital, and they've grown the revenue to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures in some cases plus. Okay, that's who they are. This information is also coming from people that work in startups that they've already changed hands. So let's go back to the first category for a second. You're the founder. Okay, you're the founder. You've raised money. You've generated revenue, and you've built it up. And now, what's your goal? To sell it, to exit. That's what every single founder has told me. Their goal is to exit the company. I was on the phone 2 days ago with a founder of a really, really, really cool software that in the first year they generated, I think they're second year than 7 figures. I talked to a gentleman about a year ago. They're doing about $1 million a month after 2 years, and this is and they're making, it's profitable. That one is profitable. The other one wasn't. And their main goals is to exit. Told me with their own mouth. Their main goal is to sell it so they can get out of it, take the money, and do something with it, either invest it or start something else. Okay, so the main goal is to exit in most cases. I've got other friends that work really, really high up in Silicon Valley. They're like at the C-suite level in some big tech companies. You definitely would know the name. They're really, really, really high up, but they didn't start it. Okay, but they worked there before the founders sold it. So the founders were there. The founders got an offer. They sold the company, but my friend stayed. So now my friend's like in the C-suite. He's really high up, but the founders are gone. And so he's got personal relationship with these founders, and I asked him, I said, hey, why did they sell it? He's like, dude, that's why everyone starts a tech company, because they want to sell it. Like, what do they do with the money? It's like, well, they either start another company or invest in. So realize that in most cases, that's the goal. Okay, that's the goal of creating a startup in the tech world. Okay, so we know what the goal is. It's to exit the company and take the money. So let's fast forward now. You have your idea, you have your partner, you have bootstrapped, and now let's say you have an app or something with 10,000 users, and you want to approach an investor to inject some money into it so that you can grow the user base and then eventually turn on the monetization engine. Let's pretend that's what you want to do. So you approach an investor and you say, hey, Mr. Investor, give me $1 million, I'll give you 49% of the company. I'm obviously simplifying a lot of this. You sign the deal, you take $1 million and you give away 49% of your company. Now, you could be like, I would never do that. Okay, everyone just calm down. I'm giving you generalized specifics. Okay, so $1 million, 49%. If you look at most founders out there, they own less than 50% of the company, by the way. 49% of the company. So you want to still make the decisions, but you need a fair amount of money, so you give away a bunch. Okay. Let's say you build the thing up and you eventually get a valuation of $5 million, and you sell the company for $5 million. Now, for some of you, you could be like, holy crap, that's amazing, that's a huge sale. For others of you, you could be like, that's crap, that's stupid, that's small. Like this company was evaluated at billions. Look at the evaluation of Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, they're billions and billions and billions. Okay, those ones, again, they're the outliers. But let's look at the vast majority of companies that are valued at whatever the value is, hundreds of millions, billions, single-digit millions, whatever. Let's talk about that for a second. What is a valuation? Do you know what a valuation is? What is a valuation? Is it the amount of money that someone crunching numbers says that the company is worth? Or is it the amount of money that someone is willing to write a check for? See, in my mind, by the way, it's the crunching numbers one. When you hear it on fancy business reports and things, it's the crunching numbers one. In my mind, a valuation is something that someone's willing to pay. So for instance, if I had a piece of art that was, paid $2 million for the piece of art, do I have a $2 million investment or do I have a painting? Well, it depends. Are you willing to pay me $2 million for the piece of art again? Because if you are, I have a $2 million investment. See, the valuation is strictly tied to how much someone's willing to pay for it. If I have that piece of art and you'll pay for it, yep, I got $2 million sitting on the wall. But if I just pay $2 million for it and no one else on the planet will ever pay that much money for it, do I have a $2 million painting? I mean, I do. I paid that. But is it a $2 million investment? Absolutely not. Does it have $2 million valuation? I mean, you could kind of screw with that all you want. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. But if no one was willing to pay me for it, do I really have any money there? I don't know. Not really, right? If you buy a property, you buy a piece of land, you spend zero on the land, right? You get a piece of property, but no one will give you a dime for it. Is that property worth anything? You got it for free, but no one will give you $1 for it. Is that property worth anything? Not really. What if someone's willing to give you $5 million for it? You spent zero on it, but someone's willing to give you $5 million. What's the property worth? $5 million. Right? Cut and dry. But if the property is worth, if no one will pay you $1, people will pay you $0, but some number cruncher comes and says, hey, that piece of land, that's worth $5 million. But no one on the planet will give you $1 for it. Is the property worth $5 million? Okay. So you go to sell your company and it's valuated at $5 million. Someone is willing to write a check for it. They're actually willing to they're willing to write the check for $5 million. You take it. By the way, you're in the top tier of business owners now. The top tier. This isn't you're using low examples. No, I'm using the top tier. You grew a business and you're selling it for $5 million. You're in the top tier. Ask anyone who's done this. There's not that many of them. So you sell for $5 million and you split half of it to the investor. They get $2.5 million. You and your partner get $2.5 million. You're left with $1.25 million when you split with your partner, right? You have $1.25 million. Awesome. Seriously, that's a good thing. What do you do with it? You could go start another startup with it, which is totally cool. If we're trying to get to passive income, which is the comparison right now, if we're trying to get to ongoing income, what are we going to do with the $1.25 million? Well, we could go invest in real estate, but now we have to start the whole specialized knowledge process all over again, so now this takes really long. So if we're using startups as the comparison metric, we're going to try to get the ongoing income now as fast as possible, because we just spent 3 to 5 years building our startup. We need our ongoing income now, otherwise we're going to completely lose to everything we're comparing against. So we're going to put it in a fast, safe investment. What is that? Probably an index fund. As we've used it before in the stock market one, we know that 4% is a very reliable number that we can bank on after fees and taxes, fees and inflation, all that stuff. We can use 4% as a reliable number that's probably not going to move forever as long as the economy is not collapsed. $1.25 million at a 4% return is $50,000 a year. Perfect. We did it. We hit a number. We just had to think of the idea, find a partner, actually have an idea that works, get an investor, build the company up, and sell it. And we have our $50,000 a year of ongoing income. How long that takes, I don't know. But that's the amount of work that it would probably take. Now, could you take $1.25 million and do something better with it other than throw it in an index fund? Sure. But again, now we're back to the point where we have to reacquire specialized knowledge, and when we're in the race of what's creating faster ongoing income, that's completely going to lose the race, right? Network marketing, in my mind, it's going to be a much faster road to $50,000 a year of ongoing income. I know people that have done it in less than a year, 6 months, $50,000 a year of ongoing income. And liability is very, very low. We don't have investors in that sense. We're not taking on huge amounts of real estate where if a tenant doesn't move into the house, like we're bleeding cash every month paying for the mortgage. So it's very, very low risk and very, very high upside. So clearly, I mean, network marketing seems to be, I guess I kind of gave you a funky comparison. I said I've seen people that have done it in less than a year. That's true. But they're like the outliers, right? So if you go back to the very first video, I kind of gave the example of an average time span for doing that. And let's say that you need to build a team of a couple hundred people to get $50,000 a year. If you're doing things like we talk about with sales funnels and all these things, like could you build a team of a few hundred people in less than 5 years? I thoroughly hope so. I mean, like we can generate hundreds of thousands of leads in a day. I mean, if I can close 1% of them, I'll have my few hundred people in a few months, right? So that, and if you want more details, go to some of the previous videos on this, and I kind of get into more details about creating that ongoing income. But basically, we pegged it between 1 and 10 years. 10 years being like dirty dog, super slow. 1 year being, pretty good, pretty fast. Less than 1 year being abnormal. But we're pegging it between 1 and 10 years. I think average, for someone that's actually working on it and developing the skill sets, I think average you could bank on 1 to 3 years for a $50,000 ongoing income in that way with low liability. And then, of course, the upside is super, super big. Okay, so we know that most likely from a speed perspective, ongoing income is going to take the cake. From a speed perspective, network marketing is going to take the cake to make $50,000 a year of ongoing income. Now, here's what I'll kind of end with. Number one is there are faster ways to make lots of active income, not passive, active income where you're trading your time for money. There are lots of ways to make faster and larger active income than network marketing. For sure, 100%. Not even a question. It's 100%. If you need to make fast money, I would not start a business. Like if you're desperate for money, I wouldn't start a business. Even in network marketing, okay? Because you're going to have to go through a period where you're figuring things out. You're probably going to be spending more than you're making, right? That's the case in any business and network marketing as well. If you need to make fast money, go drive Uber. Go have a garage sale. Go pick up stuff from other garage sales and sell it on eBay. That's called fast money. If you are looking for high active income where you're willing to trade your time for money, there's lots of businesses out there that you could start, particularly in the online world, in the direct response world, that will give you a really large return for your time, right? If you, even going offline and flipping houses, I don't know much about it, but I have friends that do it and they make great money, but they're working all the time. So from an active standpoint, there are ways that you can make a lot of active income really quickly in comparison to network marketing, 100%. But when it comes to longevity and ongoing income, network marketing really does take the cake, I think, in a lot of ways. In that regard. So for instance, like Ashley and I, we're online marketers by trade. That's really where we really put our focus in. Now obviously we've been network marketing for a long time, so we have a lot of we're not going to let that go. But we really put a lot of focus in online marketing. Why? Because it's a huge return on investment, right? We put this much time in, we get this much results back. It's great. So truly, if we wanted to make the most amount of active income possible, we would probably ditch our focus in network marketing and only focus on our direct response online marketing business. But here's the problem. Could we make probably a lot more money just doing that in the short term? Not even a question. Why? Because we take time with personal relationships in network marketing. That takes a lot of our time, where our time is worth a lot more than what they're paying us. Because you know what they're paying us? Nothing. If they're on our team, they're not paying us anything. But we have coaching clients that pay us my old full-time salary, they pay us that in a year to coach them. So that's good. More of them would be really good, right? But we make that trade. Why do we make that trade? Because over time, this will not only speed up, it'll really speed up, right? And if our target income is, let's say it's $5 to $6 million a year, can we make that in direct response really, really fast? Yeah. For sure. But we have to come up with a new product every 3 to 4 years, and we have to keep fulfilling the product, right? We have to keep thinking of something. We have to keep fulfilling it, that kind of thing, over and over and over again. Whereas right now we're taking a temporary pay cut so that we can still make our good money over there, but over here we're spending a lot of our time because after 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 years, and this turns into 5, 6, 7, 8, $10 million a year, this isn't going to really go anywhere that fast. This is going to stay around. right? That's going to be really, really good, a good source of ongoing income. So, are there faster ways to make bigger active income? For sure, there are. But are there faster ways to make ongoing income that can then grow really, really fast without you while your workload goes down? I don't think so. I'll leave you last two things. One, is network marketing an asset class? No, I do not believe it is. I really believe in the model. Is it the same thing as having a 200-unit apartment complex? No. No, it's not. We believe in having assets. We believe in having things that you can sell. Can I sell my distributorship? Yes. Is anyone going to buy it? Maybe, but they're not going to get that much value out of it because this is a personality-driven business. An apartment complex is not a personality-driven business for the most part. I can sell that. So, is it a really good way to ongoing income? For sure. Is it investment? Sort of. It depends on how you define it. Is it a thing that you can sell to someone else for a huge amount of money? Probably not. Do you have relationships in there that they'll go with you no matter where you go, and you can derive a lot of value from that over time? Absolutely. So in that way, for sure, it's an investment. Is it an actual asset, hard asset that you can touch and feel? No. No, it's not. So think about that as well. Last thing I'll leave you with is this. We don't know everything. What? We're not omnipresent. We're not God. We don't know any of this. We don't know everything, right? So just understand that. The things that I've said, like with how much content that we have put out and plan to put out in the future, I for sure have said dumb things that maybe weren't even correct in my own mind. Like, for sure they could have been wrong, period. And number two, like, I could think they're wrong. Like, I could have been like, oops, like, I shouldn't have said that. Now, I don't remember what they are right now, but just know this, like, if you watch another one of our videos and you're like, Zach, that was, like, way off. Okay, bro, like, I could have made a mistake. So just realize that, like, we can make mistakes too. We're just telling you what works for us and what we've learned. Now, what you need to do is make your own decisions. That's what you need to do. You're responsible for making your own choices and accepting the responsibility of those choices, whether you succeed or fail. So realize that we can offer you our opinion. We can offer you where we think, but you ultimately need to make the choice for you. What's good for you? What do you believe? And when you do that, that's when you really are that's when you're mentally free. Cool? Making sense? Alright guys, well, hopefully you found this helpful. Once again, if you want to join the conversation about how to use sales funnels for network marketing, if you want the results of network marketing, but you don't want to do all the stupid crap that people tell you to do, like calling your friends and family, post stuff everywhere on Facebook, do home parties, hotel meetings. If you want the results of network marketing that I just talked about, but you don't want to do any of that stuff, there is a way. Okay? We don't leave the house when we build our business. You can do it with sales funnels, and we have done it with sales funnels, and we can show you how to do it for yourself. Join the group at MLMsalesfunnels.com. It's a private group. It's free, and you can learn a lot in there on how to do that, how to break away from all that old school mumbo jumbo and do things like a real business, not a fake business, and get a lot of good results in the process. Also, MLMRebelsBlueprint.com will give you a walkway on how to build a legitimate business that you can use to build your network marketing business. And you're not posting crap everywhere. It's not focusing on writing a blog every day. It's legitimate business strategies using advertising, funding that advertising with actual money that you're getting from customers. Legitimate business strategies. That's MLMRebelsBlueprint.com. If you want to hear an audio version of this, again, go down below, click below for the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, and would love to share that with you there. Cool? All right, guys. It was amazing talking to you today. Talk to you all very soon.